just trying to sort out.
Live, we're going landscape in one, portrait in the other. I'm being cut off here.
I'm trying to sort out the.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, we're here. We've got technical support. It's like it's like we're in an earthquake.
Technical support is right on it.
Bear with, guys.
Oh my god, like a dad with a new device.
Johnny, loving it.
Hi guys.
Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. By the way, if you've just joined, we're not outside in the storm in London. It's just Mr. Johnny Huang trying to be technical support next to us.
I'm about to wipe the camera.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello both TikTok and clips.
Look at that. We've finally figured out how to go live on 2 platforms simultaneously. It's been a long journey to get here, folks.
It's been very hard, difficult journey, but we made it. We made it, and we'll remember. We'll do this next time perfectly.
Yeah. Next time we'll be absolutely spot on.
4th time lucky? Is this the 4th time?
No, this is the 5th time, I think.
5th time.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. This is our 5th time going live. 3rd on clips, I believe.
Yes.
Welcome everyone. Yeah, it's windy AF.
Yeah, it's awful.
Here
I went
today.
outside earlier and I nearly got blown over. If it wasn't for my... What did you say?
I think Macy... Now, please give us some suggestions, folks, but I think Macy looks like sort of... I think if Hogwarts suddenly brought in a goth pupil, maybe from one of the more troubled wizarding schools.
God.
And she was Hermione's friend, I think she would look like Macy here.
Hermione going through her rebellious years.
Hermione having a difficult phase.
Jesus.
I've been trying to think of names for this character. I came up with something like Vampicia Succubosa or something.
Vampicia Succubosa?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds...
Or Draculecia.
Draculecia. I like Draculecia. I'll take that.
Yeah. So here we are, folks. Yeah, it's really windy and stormy here in the UK at the moment. It's very windy in London, but I gather other parts of the country are getting it a lot worse than we are. So if you're tuning in from the UK, stay safe, don't go outdoors, just stay indoors with us, and you should be absolutely fine.
I just saw somebody say Muggle Macy.
Muggle Macy.
That's a good one. I like that one.
There
I like it.
There we are. This is why we go live, so we can get your feedback in real time, folks.
Not to talk about anything important. Or anything to do with cryptocurrency.
Anything to do with crypto. We're just going to talk about Macy's bizarre dress sense. And obviously Johnny's nugget addiction as well.
Johnny's that's ongoing. That just doesn't end.
Johnny, usually I give a Johnny nugget update towards the end of the stream, but I'll get it in early now. Johnny's recovered from he was away last week. He was isolating because his flatmate had COVID, and he was apparently unable to get out and get his fill of nuggets. Wow. Because obviously he was having to isolate. So, but he's back on the nuggets now. He was throwing him down his neck earlier. I think he may have popped out to get even more nuggets whilst we're live.
Potentially.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. It's something Johnny would do. So that's your Johnny update for the week, guys.
Johnny and his nugget update.
So much shade. I didn't go to get nuggets.
Or he could have already got them and wolfed them down.
I think he's got a store of nuggets in his drawer. Anyhow, so
let's raise an ICO for nuggets.
An ICO for nugget coin. There must be a nugget coin.
There is a nugget coin.
We
found it. Yeah, it's called Nug.
We're in stealth mode at the moment, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Nug to the moon.
Nug to
Not
the moon.
financial advice. I think we'll find that Johnny's actually the mastermind behind Nugget.
When you look into all the white paper, it's like, who created this? Mr. Huang.
Mr. Huang. Hang on a sec. So yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thank you.
It's not a brilliant day for crypto, is it?
I don't feel like much is. I feel like it's been really stale, because we kind of, not that I enjoyed when we went for that giant dip at the start of the year, but I feel like now it's just kind of, I don't know.
It's been a bit of a quiet week, I think.
Yeah, nothing much is...
Nothing, compared to some of the other weeks we've seen in crypto, it's been a little low-key. It's been hard to sort of keep track of any massive developments with particular crypto projects or coins or anything like that. But again, as we've said a few times on these streams, it just seems to be all macro at the moment. So I was looking at the charts this morning, having a poke around and seeing why everything was specific reasons at all. It's mostly, I think, to do with the uncertainty. So we've got...
that's what I said earlier as well. Just everything like the inflation, everything that's happening at the moment. No one has that much spare to, you know what I mean? Everyone's scared, so it's kind of just...
I think a lot of people are just kind of sitting tight, waiting to see which way things go. So we've obviously got issues. I think the first one, the one that seems to be making most of the headlines at the moment, is the ongoing Russia-Ukraine business. Obviously, no one really knows. And as I've said many times before, uncertainty is one thing the markets cannot stand.
Yep.
So I think that's why we're seeing a lot of the prices down, and the general sort of volatility, both in crypto and in stocks as well, is mainly coming a lot from people worrying about just the state of the world and whether Russia's going to go into Ukraine, and because obviously if Russia did invade Ukraine, that would throw up a heck of a lot of problems. It would mean like energy and fuel prices rocketing in Europe, especially, and elsewhere. And actually, Joe Biden was quoted as saying the other day that if that did happen, then Americans would feel that at the gas pump, at the petrol pump. They would see that in the form of higher fuel prices. And obviously, higher fuel prices, higher energy prices means higher cost of production, higher transport costs as well. So it would be something that would really weigh on the global economy as a whole.
Yeah.
So
on top of everything else.
Everything else, on top of the continuing supply chain problems, on top of people still worried about COVID, we've still got restrictions in place.
Still, I guess the economy's not even just started recovering yet from everything that governments are giving out loads of money. So
and of course that leads us on to the other thing that's weighing on the markets, again stocks and crypto, is inflation. We're still seeing record levels of inflation. The Federal Reserve,
I think the main reason why the markets are going to be they have been very bad. Probably
more so than the Russia-Ukraine situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So obviously people worried about inflation, people may be selling out of riskier assets like crypto, and obviously the inflation, the only real way to counter that is to raise interest rates, and we know pretty much for certain that the Federal Reserve is going to do that. They held an emergency meeting the other day which had everyone sort of on tenterhooks, and they did say that they do have the power to raise interest rates every time they have a meeting, and there are generally 8 Fed meetings a year, meetings of the Federal Reserve Board. We had one recently, and we've got 7 more. So there's a possibility, there is a distinct possibility, it's not nailed on certain, but there is a possibility that we could see up to 7 interest rate rises this year, which would not be fun.
Nope.
But the Fed will reason that is perhaps the only way to try and get inflation under control. So if you're looking at the chart and it's down, there are probably the 2 main reasons at the moment. Like I say, nothing particularly crypto specific, but worries about interest rate rises, which have been basically a theme for this year, and worries about what Russia might or might not do in Ukraine, again, which is a theme for this year that I think we're all heartily sick of, especially if you live in Ukraine.
Can't wait for this year. It's going to be a fun year, guys.
Do you know what? Interestingly, though, I've been situation, and a couple of interesting things came up to me. One was that so we have a Russian working for us here at Coin Bureau, and she said that in the Russian media there's almost no mention of this whole situation. Which I don't know what that tells us.
Do they have very biased media there? I don't know.
I imagine that the Russian media often has to say what it's told to say.
That's
so
what
it may be that it's just not reporting it because the Russian government, President Putin, doesn't want it discussed. But it's interesting nonetheless. It may just be. Hopefully, it suggests that this whole thing is just kind of posturing on Putin's part, and nothing bad is going to happen. But we can't say for certain.
No.
The other interesting fact that came up when I was looking around this. So Russia, obviously, biggest country in the world. It's absolutely endless. Its economy is smaller than Italy's.
Really?
Yeah. Crazy.
I wouldn't have thought that either.
Did you know that, people?
Did you know?
It's one of those facts that's been out there in plain sight for plenty of time, but I only stumbled across it the other day.
Okay.
I just think that's crazy.
Yeah,
when you consider the size of Russia and how we're so worried about what it's trying to do on a global scale. It's got a smaller economy than Italy's, and I think, even most Italians would admit that Italy's economy isn't isn't exactly going great guns at the moment. It's crazy.
That does surprise me. And also, I now have some knowledge for my next pub quiz.
There you
Just
are.
in case this question ever gets thrown up.
Macy makes these outlandish claims that she is a pub quiz genius.
I am.
We've
honestly.
yet to see it. I mean, obviously, we haven't been to a pub
We
quiz
should
yet.
do a live pub quiz.
We should. That's a good idea.
Well, yeah.
Those really took off in the pandemic, didn't they? I remember there was some British guy.
Oh God,
doing them,
I did them for like 3 weeks with my friends, and then I remember I was like trying to think of excuses not to turn up because I'd had enough. The first two were like, this is fun, like whatever. Then the novelty quickly wore off, and yeah, I remember being like, oh, sorry guys, I can't make it. I'm going for my walk at that time. I'm taking myself for a walk for an hour. I'm so sorry I can't make the Zoom call, but. Yeah, everyone was doing them.
I did one of them. I think I only did one or two. The first one was fine, and then I did the second one. But someone had told me about quarantinis. Have you heard about quarantinis?
No.
So these were cocktails. Quarantinis were cocktails that you made with all the sort of dusty booze at the back of the spirit cabinet. You know, the sort of
It's just what I drink.
pear-flavoured liqueur that you got when you went on holiday to, I don't know, Chechnya or wherever. Yeah, so I remember for the second quiz, I was having quarantinis, like really weird stuff all mixed together, and it all goes a bit of a blur, and the next day I was very sad.
So
Basically crying on the sofa all day long. I was so hungover. So, yeah, maybe we shouldn't do a quiz.
Or maybe we just shouldn't drink quarantinis.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
that simple.
Yeah, maybe you should stay at the back of the spirit cabinet
Yeah,
where it belongs.
stick to one drink. It's when you mix. So let's leave it at the one drink.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that would be a good thing. We could do like a cryptocurrency style pub
Crypto quiz.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone
Okay.
could win something.
Yeah, we could give away fantastic prizes.
Don't
Couldn't we?
say me. We can give away Macy.
Please, we can give away
Take
Macy to the first bidder.
God. Is there anything else big that's happened this week in terms of anything? Has anything positive?
Has anything positive?
That's what I like to hear.
Well, okay, so this is interesting because we were spitballing in the office this morning. Someone said, it might have been Johnny, someone suggested, well, could we be in a bear market already? And we just haven't woken up to the fact. Because let's face it, prices have not been spectacular recently. We saw some increases earlier this week, and it was looking good, and now it's back down. And yeah, it's been pretty low key, really. So that was certainly something to consider. But you know what? I don't think we are.
No?
And there's a number of reasons. I think the only thing that suggests we might be in a bear market are the prices. But there's so much good news sort of floating under the radar there. So, for instance, we have institutional inflows. So institutional money. Now, they were showing outflows until quite recently. So it suggested that a lot of institutions were taking profits, were selling earlier in the year. That trend has now reversed. So we're now seeing institutions reinvesting. So there's lots of institutional money still flooding into crypto. We're also, which is really interesting for me, we're seeing Bitcoin's hash rate hit new all-time highs. That means that more miners are joining the Bitcoin network and processing transactions, and in an attempt to get those transaction fees and also, crucially, those block rewards as well. So when the hash rate increases, this makes Bitcoin more decentralized and more secure. And let's face it, if miners didn't think it was profitable to be mining, then they wouldn't be. They would just switch off their machines. And that's what they can do. If the price goes too low, obviously Bitcoin mining is an expensive thing to do because you've got to pay electricity costs. So the fact that the hash rate is kind of setting new all-time highs all the time at the moment is really, really positive.
Okay.
So there's some good news.
Yep.
What else is happening that suggests we are not in a bear market? We've seen a lot of crypto projects raising crazy amounts of money recently. Nothing particular this week that sprung to mind, although we saw recently Polygon raised $450 million, which is just incredible. I find it hard to believe that
in a bear market that would.
Yeah,
that's true.
And we've also got exchange balances as well. The balance of BTC and ETH, especially on exchanges, is really, really low. Now, what that suggests is if people were planning to sell, which is obviously what happens in a bear market, when a bear market kicks in, people kind of panic sell. But people are hodling. people, investors, institutional investors, and retail investors like us, we're hodling our coins, and we're not keeping them on exchanges. We're self-custodying them. We're keeping them in our offline wallets, in our hardware wallets, wherever it may be. So that suggests that we're not about to see a sell-off anytime soon.
Okay.
So
yeah, promising.
Most of the signs suggest that we are not in a bear market.
Okay.
Which is great news, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Touch wood. Touch wood.
Touch wood. And hopefully Vladimir can restrain himself from sending tanks into Ukraine.
I know, just don't make anything any worse than it already is.
Please, Vlad, come
Yeah,
on.
please.
Come on. We really don't
From
need
the Coin
this.
Bureau.
We don't need it, yeah.
Imagine if we were the ones that changed
I'm sure he's listening, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll have
Comments.
to
I'm your biggest fan.
Vlad in the comments, okay. you win.
Oh, God.
Okay, should we? What are people saying in the comments other than?
Bear market coming by the end of this year, probably summer even.
Okay.
So people think it could still happen.
I mean, we are due a bear market, that's for sure. We
Yeah.
are due a bear market.
I just from my astrological findings.
Yes.
Think that we might be coming into a bear market this year.
Yeah.
Because we're having one extra Mercury in retrograde compared to usual
Mercury in
years.
retrograde again. God, that damn Mercury. Why can't it stay?
It's just going backwards constantly, isn't
Can't
it?
it pull its act together and get out of retrograde? Or...
Well, it does get out.
Oh, it does
It's
get
going to
out.
go back in, but
Because-
4 times. And usually
Right.
there's 3, okay? So, just saying. Just saying. It means nothing to anyone, but in my opinion.
Someone says XRP case is getting silly. What do you think? We did talk about this a little bit last week.
yeah.
We had because things were looking up for Ripple because they were given access to some SEC documents which had remained closed up until that point. But I haven't really heard anything else on that case since. And I think it is kind of getting silly in a way because it's just been dragging on for so long. Thank you, Clara. Sorry, we've just been given some coffee. So it would be great to see this SEC Ripple case resolved.
I mean,
Ideally in Ripple's favour, because I think that would obviously be great for Ripple and XRP,
Yep.
and it would be great for the crypto market as well. I think that could be something. If Ripple won its case against the SEC,
that's why it's going on so long, maybe, because they're an advantage, maybe.
Maybe the SEC have sensed that they're going to lose and are just dragging things out a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or trying to think of something to change the outcome. I don't know, maybe.
Who knows?
That could be good though.
We're not obviously great big fans of the SEC here, because their guidance on crypto has just been all over the shop recently, and all this idea. The SEC exists to protect investors. And I don't think it's doing enough of that. It's basically just going after crypto projects, and it is not living up to its remit of actually protecting investors, because I think investors should be protected against scammers and
they should be
all
able
these
to
nefarious actors, rather than chasing individual projects because they might have offered a security.
Yeah.
It seems silly to me. So come on, SEC. If Vladimir Putin can do it, you can get
If
your
you're
act
listening
together
too.
as well. Yeah.
Please, dear Lord.
I'm obviously suffering some sort of superiority complex, thinking that
Everyone's
literally everyone's watching.
That's what happens when you
That governments and regulatory bodies across the world are glued.
Well, we're nearly 2 million subs, so
Well,
which also calls for a party? Question mark?
definitely have to have a party. Definitely have to have a party.
We
for
can go
2 million
live as well. We can invite.
Oh
everyone.
yeah. Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think that would be a good idea to live stream our 2 million sub party? I'm just going to throw that out to the rest of the office. Guys, do you think it would be a good idea if we live streamed our 2 million subscribers on YouTube party?
Yes. Yeah.
Clara says yes. She hasn't. You weren't at the last party.
God.
Maybe we could live stream the first 10 minutes.
Not a bad idea.
Things get pretty rowdy after that. There's some pretty rowdy individuals.
There would be no
in this
no
place.
sense would be made at this party.
Johnny, normally so placid, we don't want to see
Scoffing
him.
nuggets.
We don't want to see him go on a rampage.
Everyone else is drunk on alcohol. Johnny's drunk on nuggies.
Johnny's just.
I think it's someone else's turn to get bullied.
Bullying. We don't bully in this office.
Oh, Johnny, I'm sorry.
God.
Oh wow, that coffee is delicious. Thank
When
you, Clara.
podcast is 17th.
Podcast is out.
Out, yeah.
The first episode of the podcast went out yesterday.
I'm like,
Macy,
I
Macy
thought I
wasn't
was
listening.
like, wait. It's where we're past the 17th.
So yeah, the first episode of the podcast went out yesterday. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, I remember.
I got to say that. I love saying that.
Wherever you listen to your podcasts, we'll be playing. Oh, that's what you sound like.
What?
You do.
I really enjoyed it. It's a really weird phrase to say, though. You can listen to the Coin Bureau podcast on Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, there's a lot of podcasts.
It just feels
very
weird saying the word
confusing.
podcast.
When podcast. Again.
When podcast. I bet
Stop
you're
saying podcast.
I bet you're sorry you asked that question. So yes, the Coin Bureau podcast in association with iHeartRadio is out now. The first episode is out now. My friend Mad Mike and I, we talk about the history of money, basically, because we're leading up to crypto. The first couple of episodes aren't really going to talk about crypto all that much because...
So basically, like when we go live.
Yeah, crypto barely gets a look in.
Somebody just said that I should mint my leg tattoo.
What is your leg tattoo?
I don't know.
It's a castle.
No, it's a
on
lighthouse.
fire. It's a lighthouse.
Yes.
Can we get let's mint
I've
let's mint
got-
NFTs of Macy's tattoos.
But there's like 20 of them.
Well,
Just mint all my legs.
well,
It's basically both my legs.
so
Can we do that? Didn't that singer do? The Austrian singer. Did she mint
yes,
herself?
that sounds familiar. Someone else minted every part of their body
I don't want to do
as
that.
NFTs. No,
No.
I don't think we need that.
No. Let's keep it PG.
Yes, the plan is to persuade Macy to mint NFTs of all her tattoos, and we can sell those for huge amounts of money.
I doubt it. Macy, make Guy do a Harry Potter disclaimer. We were just talking about Harry Potter earlier.
We were okay.
So I could be your grungy cousin who comes to
Grungy
visit.
Yeah. All right, we'll do a Harry Potter disclaimer.
You do look a bit like Harry Potter.
What? Absolutely not. The shade that is thrown in this office at the moment.
Harry Potter just a few years on.
Harry
Weathered.
Harry Potter and the Descent into Darkness.
Oh my god, I love
Harry
that.
Potter and the failed diet plan.
Yeah, we'll do it. That's a good idea, actually.
Harry Potter and the Bitcoin rabbit hole. That would be J.K. Rowling, if you're listening, as I'm sure you are, along with everyone else.
With Putin
Along
and
with
the
Putin and the
SEC.
SEC. Write that Rehab Potter. There
Harry
we are.
Potter and the return of all-time highs.
Oh, I like that. Very good.
That one's good.
I'll pay to see that. Someone was asking about Litentry, which is obviously, because this is in the news at the moment. Obviously, we've got the second batch of Polkadot Parachain slot auctions happening at the moment. And someone was asking me about projects that I'm keeping an eye on. By the way, I put out an update about Polkadot just yesterday. So that's over on our main YouTube channel. So if you want the kind of latest on what's happening with Polkadot, then do tune into that. That was really interesting to make. But yeah, the Polkadot Parachain auctions, I was looking at a few projects. There haven't been many that have really caught my eye, but three or four that I have noticed. Fala Network, which is a kind of privacy-oriented cloud computing. That's an interesting one. Litentry as well, which is decentralized digital identity. There were a couple of others. Polkadex, which is obviously a DEX for Polkadot. And another one someone mentioned, I think that must have come from our metaverse team, was Darwinia, which I believe is a metaverse play for Polkadot as well. Okay. So those are four projects that I've sort of been aware of and sort of been keeping not an especially close eye on, but I'm certainly going to look into them a little bit more. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of those. Litentry is an interesting one. I was thinking about why the lit price hasn't really done much, and is down quite a lot from its all-time highs, and really the only reason I could think of was well there are two things basically. Litentry and a number of other projects released tokens very, very early. So although Litentry hasn't yet secured a parachain slot, its token has been available for a couple of years, I think now. And ditto, I think, with Fala Network as well. And this can be a bit of a problem if these projects release tokens before the parachain slot auctions come along, because if they win those auctions and go live, then there's going to be a lot of sell pressure coming from the people who got in very, very early. So it is worth considering if you are interested in the Polkadot parachain slot auctions. Do a lot of research and make sure, because if the project has already issued a token, it suggests that there's still a good chance that you'll get a return on it, but I don't think the returns will be particularly astronomical.
Okay.
So that's something to bear in mind. The other thing that struck me about Latentry, I think, as well, is this idea of a decentralized digital identity. It's going to be really, really important, especially as Web3 develops and as we go along. But I kind of feel it's something that's a little bit ahead of its time at the moment. I think people generally aren't too concerned about it yet, and as I say, I think it's going to become bigger as time goes on.
Definitely.
But yeah, at the moment, I think there's so much more that people are focused on. So yeah, I think that could be something that's been holding Latentry back a little bit. Is that
there's no urgent need.
Yeah, people aren't kind of waking up to, in general, to the importance of decentralized digital identities. So I think it's something. Yeah, it's a long-term play.
Okay. Yeah.
So those are the Polkadot, the second round of the Polkadot parachain slot auctions that are happening at the moment.
What happened to Kusama?
What happened to Kusama? Yeah, Polkadot's testnet. Again, I think it's kind of been. Yeah, it hasn't really had a spectacular run either. KSM, I guess. Both KSM and DOT have been sort of held back very much by the fact that the market in general has been down. And there's also, in a lot of cases, there's been a lack of demand drivers for DOT. DOT is being used for staking, and it's obviously being locked up for parachain slot auctions. But beyond that, there haven't been too many actual demand drivers for the coins. So, but if you watch my video over on YouTube, you'll see that there are more demand drivers possibly in the works. So there's a lot going on with Polkadot, and of course with Kusama as well. So yeah, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on.
Kusama was the one that we nearly got a tattoo for. Is that the one? Yeah. That's
right. Yeah, I think, I'm not sure if you can still do it at the moment, but there used to be,
it's like a club,
used to be a time
right?
you could join the Kusama.
The tattoo club.
Yeah, you had to get a tattoo of the Kusama bird.
Yeah.
And yeah, that gave you access to some cool Kusama club.
I was this close.
I'd forgotten all about that.
Yeah.
You were going to do that. You were going to add, and then you realised you'd run out of room.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
I heard some people asking your thoughts on Mr. Trump's NFTs being released.
Is Mr. Trump releasing NFTs now?
Apparently so.
I know.
Who isn't? Oh my God.
Everyone's releasing it. I know Melania released some NFTs. I don't think they were spectacularly successful.
No.
I think someone was saying that the only person who bought them was Melania.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'd certainly be interested to see what a Trump NFT consisted of. The mind boggles.
Just no.
Do we really want to know? I'm not sure. What else are people saying?
Have you bought Tesla merch using Doge?
No, I haven't.
Do you have any Doge?
I don't have any Doge, so I couldn't have, even if I wanted to. Would I buy Tesla merch? I don't know. Tesla it's a cool brand. I like their cars. I mean, I'd
buy a car with some Doge. Depending on how much I had. Yeah, I don't know if I'd ask. I don't know.
But I'd sort of, yeah, I'm not in a tearing hurry, A, to buy any Tesla merch, or B, to have to buy some Doge in order to buy some Tesla. Elon, you just can't keep Elon down, can you? You can't.
He pops up, doesn't he? He pops into everything. He's got.
Yeah.
We've got. Do you think Bitcoin could fall to 30 or possibly 28 in the next month or so?
It could. It's not impossible. Like I said earlier, I don't think it's likely to fall that low anytime soon, because, as I say, there's so little of it on exchanges. That said, low exchange balances do mean that volatility is much higher. So let's say tomorrow Russia invaded Ukraine, the Fed raised interest rates, and what else? They discovered another nasty form of COVID. then things like that, a sort of black swan event like that,
Yep.
that could quite easily send the price down. The important thing is that they can go down, they can fall. I don't think we'll see anything comparable to what we saw in the. There's too much money in the market. There's too much institutional capital in crypto now, among many other factors. But that said, it's not impossible that Bitcoin could fall to those levels. I just feel that if Bitcoin did fall to 20k, say, I just can't imagine that people would be turning down the opportunity to
buy,
to snap it up.
Yeah.
I know I would definitely snap up some BTC if it fell to 20k.
100%.
Yeah.
Which I think is another thing that's happened. Do you know when people are saying we're in a bear market? Everyone's buying. So it's like there's so many people still wanting to buying the dip, for example, that and hodling.
It would be very hard not to buy the dip.
Well, it would, yeah. It's quite a juicy opportunity.
You love buying the
I
dip.
love buying the dip. I loved it when I saw all the red. I was like,
rubbing our hands
Praying
with glee
mantis,
at
yeah.
the carnage in the market.
but now I'm kind of bored of it. And now I'm like, can we go up?
It would be nice. It would be nice to go back up, wouldn't it? So yeah, look, these macro factors and crypto-specific factors as well. They could all have a tough effect on the price of BTC and all altcoins as well. But I don't think those prices would stay down at those levels.
No.
I think people would hoover them up. That said, if there was a big shakeout like that, the real ones to suffer would be the shit coins and the ones without strong enough use cases. It would be very interesting to see how things like SHIB and Doge, which are not necessarily shit coins, they certainly have some shitcoin-like properties, but it would be really interesting to see how those coins and others like them survived a sudden crash or survived a bear market.
Probably not very. I mean, I watched a really interesting YouTube documentary actually the other day about this. You know, about all the like celebs and influencers bringing out. There's like the Carol Baskin.
Oh yeah.
The cat coin.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah, she's got one. Yeah, she has one. I was like, oh my god. And then just all these like random YouTube influencers who are kind of famous for doing really inappropriate things.
Right.
All of them have their own
crypto.
Yeah. It's like, and that's like the part of it that's really just brings everything down. Do you know what I mean? It just that's the part that makes cryptocurrency look bad. But the documentary was really good. Can't remember what it's called, so there you go, guys.
There we are.
Take that information, do what you want with it. Don't care.
Okay, what have we got going on in the comments then? Everyone is like, when bear market? Yeah. Like I say, I don't think we're going to see it just yet.
What is crypto?
What is crypto? Wow, how long have you got? Listen to the podcast. If you want to know what crypto is, listen to the podcast.
Yeah, because you're going from the start,
episode
right?
1. Yeah. And if you aren't sure what it is after a few episodes of that, then
So, Guy, what's this woman's name?
This woman?
Menace.
Menace. That's about right. Macy the Menace. Yeah.
Got people speaking about Cosmos, which you.
Cosmos has just won a poll to be listed on FTX.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they ran a poll. I mean, I think FTX is invested in quite a lot of Cosmos projects, so you perhaps take that news with a pinch of salt. But yeah, Atom is going to be available on FTX now, which is exciting, and it's a project I've talked about a lot. I think it's a really, really interesting project, and like I keep saying, blockchain interoperability is going to be such a key part of the future of crypto. And actually, one of the really interesting things that I found that I was talking about in the Polkadot video was how quite often now it's quite tempting to compare Polkadot with other smart contract platforms like Ethereum, other layer ones, Ethereum, Cardano, Avalanche, all the rest, Solana, all the rest. But really, I think we should be looking at Polkadot as more of a competitor to the likes of Atom, more of a blockchain interoperability play.
Okay.
Because the network is basically designed to support a whole load of different. It's one relay chain, only processes transactions, but all these additional parachains that plug into it. That's much more of an interoperability play.
Okay.
So again, check out my Polkadot video, which I put out yesterday. But yeah, that's something, because I've been guilty of doing that and sort of trying
comparing
to compare.
to like Ethereum, which
Yeah.
is yeah.
I mean, there's still relevance to that. There's still similarities, and of course, Gavin Wood, who developed Polkadot, was one of the original developers of Ethereum as well. But yeah, I think we should be looking at Polkadot as much more of a rival to the likes of Cosmos.
Fair point.
So yeah, but anyway, my thoughts on Atom. Is it Guinness you're drinking? No, it's an exotic coffee.
Yes, it's very, very nice actually.
Mm.
We have, wait, this one's quite funny. How do you walk around with so much crypto info weighing you?
Very slowly.
We've got a lot of people
slow and ponderous.
asking about Algo.
Asking about Algo. It's been a while since I covered Algorand. I get accused of not liking Algorand.
Do you?
Which is
Actually,
not
you have in the past. Actually,
yeah. Which is not true. I don't hate Algorand. I raised some issues around centralization, but I have covered Algorand not recently, but there are a few videos on our main channel, so do check those out.
Yep.
But yeah, obviously Algorand is a really interesting project, and also it could be a big potential player in a US central bank digital currency. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of ties that Algorand, the project, has with, I mean, it's closely associated with MIT, because Silvio Micali, the founder of Algorand, is an MIT professor. Okay. So there are quite close ties with the US administration, with the US government. So it's definitely a project to watch, Algorand. So yeah, I must look into that again and see what it's been up to more recently. What else are we saying?
We've got AMP. People just saying thank you as well for all your.
You are most welcome, everyone.
Beautiful knowledge.
Pleasure. A pleasure.
A lot of people.
Something else I noticed, just by the by, for those of us in the UK, I noticed that Binance has also reinstated GBP deposits.
That was just yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Yes, yesterday.
There you are, folks. So if you're in the UK and you want to get jiggy on Binance, because that's been since about last summer, last September, was it? I think
maybe before.
They suspended deposits.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so Binance has obviously been having to work with regulators quite a lot to try and get these fiat deposits reinstated. Euro deposits, I think, were reinstated a couple of weeks ago, but now us here in the UK can deposit good old pounds on Binance again. So
we can start investing on Binance again, which is good. It's always good. I mean, I'm sure my bank's going to have issues with me doing anything as per usual, but we'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
All our banks. Wonderful.
We've got loads of people just asking about different coins on here. Mm-hmm. So we've had H-bar quite a lot. Did we?
H-bar. Yeah, I haven't looked into H-bar recently. I gather there have been some interesting developments on there, but yeah, I mean, I've been so busy sort of covering more of the macro stuff that's been going on and all these reports that have been coming out. But yeah, I must do some more deep dives, I think, as well.
Got people mentioning Phantom. Mm-hmm. Anything interesting happening there?
Not that I've been keeping up with. I mean, I think we're all waiting for Phantom to launch on Coinbase, aren't we?
Has it not launched yet?
No.
I thought that
was so bizarre.
I thought that was happening in like 10 days.
I think that was Stacks.
Oh, FTM, STX. You can see.
It happens.
We get confused.
Okay. What else was I going to talk about today? Did people notice as well that Twitter has started adding ETH tipping? Because it added Bitcoin tipping.
Yes.
You can now tip via ETH as well. Although, as I noticed, it's not making use of a layer 2. Right. So presumably, if you do want to leave a tip on Twitter via ETH, it's going to cost you about $30 in gas. So unless you're planning on leaving a really massive tip for someone on Twitter with ETH, I'm not quite sure if it's worthwhile.
Right. Okay.
But you know,
it's still good to know. It's still some sort of progress, I guess.
Yeah. We've also been following the fallout from the Department of Justice from them busting the Bitfinex money launderers. This was obviously the big story last week.
They're making a documentary.
I saw that. Yeah, the Netflix documentary. That was you said that.
I did. I predicted it.
You said that on the stream last week. Mystic Macy strikes again. And yes, I've just actually been recording the other day a long video for YouTube about the Bitfinex hacks, sort of looking into the history of it, what actually went down, what happened, and then following this investigation into what this couple are alleged of doing. It's so strange. It's so weird because they made some really rookie errors, like keeping the private keys to all these stolen bitcoins on a cloud drive. Which is just really amateur.
Didn't she run? Did you say she ran back inside as well when they were trying to arrest her?
Yeah, I think she said she needed to rescue her cat or something, and then when she went in to try and grab the cat, she apparently grabbed her phone and tried to lock it, which isn't.
But then if she's left all that stuff on the open.
Yeah,
that doesn't add up. So.
But then when I was looking through just how they were trying to launder these funds, they obviously knew what they were doing in that sense. So it's just so strange because on the one hand they made these really rookie errors, and you think, how could someone do that? And then on the other hand, they're doing this really elaborate laundering process.
Conspiracy, or could be the truth because I'm not always right. Do you think that there's something way bigger going on, and they've left those like breadcrumbs so that the people find them and think that it's all over, but really there's something way bigger happening and it's distracting?
Quite possibly.
And I'm getting loads of confetti here. Thank you. I don't
know. Someone agrees with you, Macy.
100%, right? I mean, that wouldn't surprise me.
100%. We don't know the full story. That's for sure. Because, as I said before, they...
we don't know the full story.
We don't know the full story. As we said before, this extraordinary couple, Razzle Khan and her husband, aren't being accused of hacking Bitfinex. They're being accused of trying to launder the stolen funds from Bitfinex. So there are almost certainly other people involved. Whether they will be caught is another question.
Yeah, you see, because I think these other people must be the big players.
Yeah.
The wind's just slammed the door shut.
It's so windy here in London at the moment, folks.
Yeah, I think there's like some bigger circle, and they're the two that they've, like I said to you, they always push someone into the firing line so that then everyone gets distracted and they're like, oh, it's over now, we have our culprit, when really...
Macy has spoken. Yeah. No, I think you're right.
I won't say names because I could be in danger, but no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Do you know some names?
No, I'm kidding.
Macy knows. Oh my God, your knowledge will get us all killed.
Macy disappears next week. Then I'll be in the documentary series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who would play you?
Who would play me?
Yeah. Oh no, it's a documentary series, isn't it? It's not a dramatization.
You in a wig.
Wow, the world is not ready for that.
You in a wig with your northern accent.
With my terrible northern accent. What else has been happening? Obviously, the Canadian truckers' protests are ongoing. And
because wasn't that growing? Like, were they not trying to? I know it started in Canada, and then I heard that they were trying to take over different parts of the world, basically.
Yeah, it was happening in France as well.
Oh.
There were protests springing up everywhere.
Yeah.
But the Canadian truckers were trying to raise funds, and basically people were donating to them in crypto. But a lot of transactions to the truckers have been blocked, and bank accounts associated with them have been frozen as well.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, because the Canadian truckers' protests and these other protests are a bit of a contentious issue, because a lot of people feel that they're very right-wing in nature, and other people would argue that though there are really hard right-wing elements there are plenty of people from across the political spectrum. So it's hard. You can't really make a judgment either way. But what is worrying is that the Canadian government and other governments are stepping in to limit access to funds.
Yeah, I think so.
This just makes crypto even more important, because although, having said that, they are trying to limit their access to Bitcoin donations as well.
Okay.
And obviously it's difficult because you can't stop a Bitcoin transaction being made, but for the recipient, you can stop them trying to cash the Bitcoin into fiat.
Okay. So they can't convert and then actually use that for anything.
It's
Okay.
it's a worrying sign, and whatever your thoughts about the truckers are, and whatever your politics, if governments are capable of putting
Blocking-
those sorts of restrictions on people, that's
Scary.
never good news.
Yeah, because it could
Yeah.
starts with this, and then it could like they could start doing it to more and more and more people and controlling what you're doing or controlling your money, for example, like you said. God,
Yeah.
I'm on a conspiracy.
You just
I'm so
really are
full of
such a-
conspiracies today. I don't know what's going on. It's these topics of conversation, guys. Let's talk about
Yeah.
something different.
What else are we expecting? Apparently, we're also due a crypto oversight executive order from the White House in the next week. I mean, we've supposedly been due one of those for a long time.
Yes.
So I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. That's not necessarily going to have a particularly large impact on the crypto market, but it could be, again, it's kind of creating uncertainty. So again, that could be something that's weighing on the minds of crypto investors as well. Maybe
Just
helping
waiting to
keep-
hear like the
Yeah,
actual...
they just want to. Yeah, investors want clarity
Yeah, that's fair.
above all else.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because if you don't know the big things happening in the news cause uncertainty. If you don't know what's going to happen, you're going to be less likely to put your money anywhere. You're going to hold on to it. So, but again, going back to the start of the conversation, I feel like that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
And until the world like gets back on an even level of some kind with everything that's happened over the last 2 years, I just think it's gonna be quite stale.
Yeah.
In regards to all areas of finance, stocks, crypto. So yeah, that's my.
That's your hot take. That's Macy's hot take, everyone. No, you're right. You're right. How are we doing in the comments?
Helium.
Do you watch Russell Brand? Do you watch Russell Brand?
Do you know what? I do sometimes, but again, sometimes he actually has some. I didn't used to like him, and then he's got a YouTube channel, and some of the stuff he talks about is actually really good, and he's got very good points. Then other times he kind of goes down into conspiracy like things that are just a bit wild, but the majority of stuff is actually really good. And to say how he used to be, like he was this crazy rock star type. I don't even know what he did. Was he just a party
He was
guy?
he was like a sort of comedian actor type of thing.
But more known for going out dating loads of models and being into
really ridiculously good looking.
being very good looking.
Having great hair,
Yeah, he did.
which sells him a bit short. I mean, I think he's more than great hair. He's an interesting guy. Like he's obviously like really smart.
I think he's been. He kind of went sober, and then he got into like looking into all these politics and world issues, and he actually does have some good points, to be fair.
Yeah.
So sometimes I don't agree with everything he says, but generally, yeah.
Someone asking when our video on Anchor Protocol is out. In a few minutes' time is the answer to that. We're going to sort of wind this up in about kind of 10 minutes or so, because I need to go off and put the Anchor Protocol video up that I did filmed the other day. So there's your answer. The Anchor Protocol video will be up very soon. And yeah, that's obviously a protocol on the Terra blockchain. And it offers some really incredible rates of interest on UST, which is obviously Terra's decentralized stablecoin. Really interesting, because it's quite difficult now for DeFi protocols to kind of offer the crazy interest rates that they were in the past. But Anchor Protocol is still managing to do that, and the way it does it is really clever. There's a whole lot happening behind the scenes. Now I won't spoil the full length video for you. But yeah, Anchor Protocol video will be with you within a few minutes, so keep a lookout for that, folks.
Exciting times. We've got one of our followers here.
Guy, can you greet me? It's my birthday. Of course I can. Loria Venice.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Loria Venice. I won't ask how old you are. Not as old as me, I'm sure.
God.
What?
Everyone asking about this bear market.
Are we in a bear market? No, again, I don't feel that we are in a bear market. I think the only signs pointing towards a possible bear market are the prices at the moment, which are, as we can all see, are pretty uninspiring right now. But I think all the other boxes that you'd need to tick for a bear market are just unticked at the moment. So we've got things like very low balances on exchanges, which means people are hodling. We've got Bitcoin's hash rate hitting new all-time highs, which suggests that more miners are joining the network, and they wouldn't be doing that if they felt that we were about to head into a bear market, because obviously mining is an expensive process. We've got institutional inflows again. We did see net outflows quite recently, but institutional money has started coming back in again. And yeah, we've got some absolutely crazy amounts of money being invested into various projects. And the one that I keep referencing, obviously, is $450 million for Polygon just fairly recently, which is, I mean, yeah, just shy of $500 million for a layer 2.
It's a lot of cash.
It's a lot of money.
That's a whole lot of cash. People asking if we're doing, if you're doing a Monero update.
Wow, God, I haven't covered Monero in a long time. And Monero is, yeah, a lot of people talking about Monero at the moment. Monero came up a few times when we were looking at this couple who were supposedly laundering for Bitfinex, because they converted some of the Razzle Khan and co. Because they converted some of the stolen BTC into Monero, which is obviously much, much harder to trace. Monero is such an interesting project, and there are a few interesting implications for Monero out there at the moment. One of them is obviously Litecoin implementing the Mimblewimble protocol, which will introduce opt-in privacy for Litecoin. So that could be a challenge to Monero and its privacy coin dominance, because if you can make your Litecoin transactions private, Litecoin, I think, has a lot more exposure generally than Monero. I mean, Litecoin is one of those cryptos that seems to be, whenever a service, whenever a platform sort of signs up to either offer crypto or accept crypto, Litecoin is usually up there.
Yeah.
You usually have BTC, ETH, and LTC, and Bitcoin Cash still. Those seem to be the big four that are generally sort of adopted, and Doge as well.
Well, people, CB crypto event ? Yes, May
the 7th?
Yeah, we're going to put the tickets out actually in the next couple of weeks. So when we do, we'll obviously let you guys know first. We'll do an announcement. There are only a certain amount of tickets up for grabs. So yeah, watch out, because we're basically giving the tickets away, because
we're not, yeah, the tickets aren't going to be expensive at all.
No.
We want people to come and just enjoy the conference.
Yeah, so
you're lining up some really cool speakers and really cool sponsors.
I've spoken to quite a few people this week as well, and I am very excited, especially to meet like all the other content creators. And I talked to Maren Altman.
Oh yeah.
Who's my other astrology crypto queen.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yes. So she's gonna come. So
that's brilliant.
So yeah, and yeah, we've got quite a few really, really cool guests.
Good to see the astrology contingent strongly represented.
I'm just going to run off with her. I'm just going to be talking to her all day about the stars.
And it's going to be such a good opportunity to meet you guys as well. I hope you're going to be able to come and join us at that event. That's going to be May the 7th here in London. We've got a really cool venue for it as well.
Yes, we do. But yeah, just watch out on our socials. We will let you guys know as soon as the tickets are out. Yeah. And yeah, can't wait to meet you all there. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, come along. It's going to be really good. Say hello. Get some selfies and have a great time. There'll be a bar as well, won't there?
Of course
there'll be a bar. Need a drink to just take the edge off.
Need stiff alcohol.
Okay, what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, something else that's been in the crypto news a little bit as well has been the fact that BuzzFeed doxed the creators of the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
What?
So it basically outed the Bored Ape creators.
I was going to say, aren't they anonymous? Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Oh.
Not anymore. I'm not going to say their names here, because I think they have a right to anonymity, and I think everyone has a right to it, to a degree of anonymity and privacy. And so this has been something that's got a lot of people very worked up in the crypto community, and with good reason as well. So
it's meant to be decentralized.
Well, yeah, and I
don't know.
Yeah, I think these guys wanted to remain anonymous for reasons that are their own, really, and they're entitled to them. They weren't involved in any sort of criminal enterprise, but it does throw up some worrying potential outcomes, because these guys, people will know that if they created the Bored Ape Yacht Club, they're probably doing all right for themselves.
That's what I was thinking. Was probably the main reason why they didn't want their names out there
Yeah.
for security, safety.
Yeah.
Like you said, if somebody knows you're doing well, then they're gonna.
I must say, I think it was a bit irresponsible of BuzzFeed to dox those creators. Apparently they only had about half an hour's warning that the article was going out. And a lot of people in crypto are worried about security. Apparently Coinbase, the founder of that, Brian Armstrong, his security is something like $10 million or something. Because obviously people know that he's a very wealthy man.
Well, that's the same. It's like being a celebrity. You need to have the security there because people are out to get you. They know you're wealthy, and they want what you have.
Yeah.
But that's really bad, actually, that they did that.
It did throw up some thoughts on the whole topic, folks, and this applies to all of us really. You have to take care of yourself out in the cryptoverse. You have to make sure don't go bragging on social media about how much crypto you hold. I think it's all right to say that you're in crypto, that you invest in it, but always be very careful about divulging too much information like that, because it could get into the wrong hands. Make sure you keep your crypto safe. Make sure you take appropriate steps. So for instance, don't have all your crypto on one wallet. Spread it across different wallets, different platforms. That will keep you safer in so many eventualities. It makes you a lot safer from hacking. If one particular platform gets hacked, at least you don't lose your entire stack. And yeah, I think as well, it's very, very tempting to keep a lot of crypto apps on your phone, things like exchange apps, wallet apps, things like that. Just be very, very careful with that, especially if there's a lot of crypto on those apps.
Yeah, because...
Yeah, you never know who could gain access to your phone or who could make you access your phone. So it's really important to stay safe out there, guys. And yeah, we may not be as rich as the Bored Ape Yacht Club guys, but we should all take our own personal security very seriously.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous world out there, folks. It's a dangerous world.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're almost going to wrap things up now because I need to go and post my Anchor Protocol video for you to all have a look at. What have people got planned for the weekend? What are you going to take all weekend?
Probably.
Is that such a big job?
It's that bad. What am I doing? I think, well, we're all going out this evening. The office is going out, which should be nice. So no doubt I'll be slightly head sore tomorrow. Tomorrow
might be a bit sore.
Yeah. So no doubt tomorrow I'm going to be kind of hanging around.
Just
being a gremlin around my house.
Just moving very gently about the place,
Yeah, and then...
I think I might be the same.
Then it's my hair on Sunday, so I want to have a nice relaxing... It's been a very busy week.
It has been a really busy week for Coin Bureau HQ, and there's actually so much on the horizon as well. We've got the event that we were talking about coming up. We're trying to get Bitcoin Miami sorted at the moment, going to that. There's talk of having some people at a conference in Lisbon.
Oh yeah, the NFT.
Non-fungible Lisbon. Hoping to have a presence there as well.
So yeah, there's loads of things in the pipework. We're planning loads of things, and it's been a very, very busy week.
Someone says you're robbing hamburgers, and I've just been...
Oh my god!
She's not dressed up as Hermione Granger's goth mate. She's dressed up as a hamburger.
And do you know what's really funny? I had a McDonald's last night, and I had a burger today.
Really?
So I am.
You had
true.
a McDonald's, did you?
I had a McPlant burger.
A McPlant. Oh, I thought maybe you'd join Johnny for some nuggets.
Oh, definitely. No. I had a McPlant, and then today I had a Neat Burger, which is like a vegan burger place.
How was that?
Yeah. And I had a vegan shake and a tater tot. It was good. It was good times. But now I feel like
But now you're the hamburger.
I just waddle out of here tonight. God.
Macy's outfits bring constant joy to this office. They really do. It's just wonderful.
Can't help being so fashionable.
Well, thank you all for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure as always. We need to shoot off now and get some things done.
Yes.
But it's been great hanging out with you. We're going to do it the same time next week.
Yes.
And yeah, lots to look out for. Please do, if you have a moment, please do over the weekend check out the Coin Bureau podcast. And I'd love to know what you thought of it. We've got another episode coming. So we put it out on Thursday, but our regular release date is going to be Fridays. Weekly. So you can, weekly. So, well, actually, I think we're going to put it out more often than that. in the future.
Okay.
But for the moment, we're going to be going out weekly, and then we're going to have a few sort of extra episodes where we interview people. Might try and do an episode from Bitcoin Miami.
That would be good. Yeah.
You can hear me schmoozing with all the whales.
Well, I'll make sure to get a ton of content as well.
Do we have a whale pass for Bitcoin Miami? Don't think we do.
No, we're not quite there yet.
No, not yet. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for your questions and comments, and we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, have a lovely weekend and see you next week.
All the best, guys.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao. Thank you, guys. There's Johnny, handful of nuggets.
Is it? How do I stop it?